Welcome to Comic Core Friday night. I am just Chad. I am the advocate of the Comic Core. And I'm going to introduce my panel of goodness down here. So let's start off. Oh, crap. I got feedback here. All right. First up, we got, YouTube. Don't you dare be sour. Clap for the famous champ and feel the power of Bueller.
Was that it?
That's it.
Well,
that took you all day, Chad?
Chad has been snowed in all week to come up with that 100% ripoff of the New Day's tagline. And he
No, it wasn't.
Man, how dare you rip off the New Day, Chad? No one rips off the New Day.
Oh, that was good stuff. Chad, thank you for the great intro, my friend.
It's going to get only better from here. It's the Ayatollah of rock and roller, the architect. Burn it down. Sam, take it.
I'm here. Thank you.
He is here.
He is here. He is here. Next up, it is the 17 time. No, wait, hold on. 117 time styling, profiling, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, son of a bitch. The great legend.
What's going down? What's happening? The legend is here, ready for some fun. Got a great pick of the week. It's gonna be a great time.
And this one, oh man, oh, you didn't know? Oh, you're asking to call somebody. That's right. It's the K to the A to the T to the R to the E to the N figures with her awkward sidekick, Mark. KATREN figures.
Hi. Mark's running late right now, but I have Odin behind me who might make an appearance.
All right.
That means he's putting the makeup on to hide the bruises.
And next up, fuck it. I didn't do anything for you, Paul, because you're just boring.
I'm going to hurt you in Chicago.
But next up is the eyebrow raising. Step on the gas. He's going to whoop your ass. The host with the most. Please save this show. C-Winner19. It's all yours, brother. I'm out.
Hey, glad to be back. I'm going to call him Chad for now. I'm kidding. But nonetheless, happy to be back. Had to go to a wedding last week. So, yeah, I enjoyed watching the Comic Core last week. I hope we have another great show this weekend. So, before we get into picks of the week, I want to go to the chat. First one in the chat was a good friend of ours, Comic Spectre. So I know Comic Spectre, he's watching tonight. He says he's watching from a hotel room. So hopefully you're having a good night, Comic Spectre. Another friend of the show, we got Comics Misexplained. He says cheers. So cheers right back to you. And then we got Comic G-Man, Discovery Bay Comics. JB, what's up? He's still doing some fine work for the community, telling everybody what's on each and every day of the week. So crazy work you're doing there, man. We got Mastodon Comics and Collecting. Oh, yeah. What is going on, Mastodon? We got Sheila Flaming Comics. How's it going, Sheila? We got Chuck. Chuck Loaded Comics. Can't wait to see him at C2E2 in Chicago. I know he's got a big booth planned for that. We got Mark BKR90 in the chat. So hopefully he'll join us shortly. We got Fire Dave.
Get out first.
What's up? He's looking for that key still.
He's got to get out of that cage first.
We got Blue Wrenches running wild in the chat. We got Economics and Comics. What's up? He says. And we got Hulk Nuts 911 Comics and Deadlifts. I used to do some deadlifts back in the day. My back hurts. But anyway, I don't do that stuff anymore. Then we got JD. I think he has a show coming up later tonight on Tony Sanders' channel called The Hunt in about an hour from now. So hopefully those guys have a great show planned for the night. And then from Blasted or Stash, we got Pocan Joe in the chat. What is going on, Pocan Joe? Next up, we got Steve Martin. I know he's a funny guy. Love him. Next up, we got Lindsay's Geeked Out Knickknacks. She made appearance on Comics and Cold Ones last night, so they had an awesome show. So guys, watch that on the rewind. That was a lot of fun to watch. We got John's Comics with Kids. I think he has a secret contest going on that ends very soon. So It's not a secret, so do the contest. But check him out because he's giving away some phenomenal books. We got Mr. White Gloves, Splash Page Comics. How's it going, man? Barbarian Kung Fu. Mr. Garrel Kachung, he says at the party now. Beyond the Blast Doors, David, how's it going? One of the best Star Wars podcasts on YouTube. Chad 90 MF Comics, he says, what's up, Chad? He's looking for his fellow Chad brother out there. So what's up, Chad? We got my boy Poor Man's Comics. How's it going, PMC? And then I think, hopefully I didn't miss anybody. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and go into picks of the week. So it was kind of like nice cover week for me, I guess. So I'll just rapid fire them off because I'll be honest, I just went and bagged them because they were such beautiful books. So we got a double shot of Art Germ. I found this week. It sold out at my local shop. So I got Batgirl 31, Art Germ.
Was that variant on the newsstand?
Yeah, they're direct. Sorry.
I don't think there's any difference anymore.
Yeah, there is no newsstand. Maybe I'll find a newsstand. Anyway, Supergirl 26, another beautiful Art Germ. This was missing out of my Supergirl Art Germ collection, so get them germs. I got this Wonder Woman everyone's been raving about, so the cover for Wonder Woman 63. So just a beautiful cover there.
Damn, who did that?
Direct stand. What's the name of this artist? I can't remember.
Sharama I always butcher it. Spidey fan just dropped a video talking about it. He's the only person I know that can actually pronounce that artist's name.
Absolutely. So check out Spidey Fan. He did a wonderful video about this artist on his channel this week, kind of showing all of the, the covers this artist has done. So definitely check that out. Here's my cover of the week, though, to be honest. I found this might not even be from this week, but I didn't know what week it was, but I just found this kind of in the wild. WWE Forever #1. This one's for you, Sam.
All right.
This is like a Where's Waldo of WWE characters. They try to get like every single character. It's a wraparound actually, but they try to get every single character put on this cover. There's some that don't look as good as others, like poor Mustafa Ali there at the bottom. He does not look like Mustafa Ali, but look above him. The main reason I bought this cover. There's my boy. There's Drew Gulak. Made the cover of a WWE comic book. So when I saw Drew Gulak on a comic book, I'm like, I don't care how much it is, I'm buying it. So there's other guys like Ziggler and R-Truth and Corbin on there for some reason.
That's a true first right there.
Yeah, it's got to be a true first. Like the whole 205 Live rosters on a comic book. So not something you see every day. I bought this thing. I'm going to get it signed at C2E2 by a certain someone on this panel. But I've got a Farmhand. It's a hard to find second print. Farmhand #2, co-pick of the week. This book is phenomenal. I had to pick it up once I saw one in the wild again, so I might get a certain someone's signature on this. I put it in a Mylar bag with one of those nice backs on there. So there's that. The one actual book I bought to read this week, Ice Cream Man #9.
Somebody call the Ice Cream Man.
Unfortunately, I can't say it's my pick of the week because they tried to give the Ice Cream Man an origin that he didn't really need, in my opinion. But nonetheless, you kind of get the origin of the Ice Cream Man if you're really wondering about it. So there you go. If you guys have been following this title, like I said, that goes out of the anthology horror spot. My pick of the week. It's an oldie but a goodie. I found it in the wild for $1.50. All-Star Superman #6. I think this is the best issue, maybe one of the best single reads you can find out there. Basically, it starts off with a younger Clark Kent. He kind of is back from college, just hanging out in Smallville with Mom and Pa Kent. Pa Kent needs help with the farm, so he recruits a few weird characters, it seems like at first. So they're helping him with the farm, and then you find out all of them are their Supermen from the future. Basically, they form their members of their own Superman League, and you don't really know why they're there until you see this creature called the Timevore or something like that. I can't remember offhand. But nonetheless, it's a character. It kind of floats around. It consumes like life and time. So like if I was to meet it, I'd turn super old basically. So the Superman kind of travel back in time. Use Paul Kent's farm as a guise to stay there for a second to figure out when this thing's going to strike. And then unfortunately, the younger Superman at Smallville, he knows he needs the help. So he goes and he helps capture his character, but he loses 3 minutes of his life doing it. In those 3 minutes is the 3 minutes that Puckett has heart attack and passes away. So Clark is just devastated. He wasn't there to say goodbye to him. But the very last few pages, you find out the Superman unknown that was in bandages was the All-Star Superman from the basic current timeline of this run. So the Superman League basically brought that Superman with them so he could say goodbye to his father. So just a very touching issue. I highly recommend this whole run if you guys could find it in a trade, but it's one of the best. So those are my picks of the week. So sorry to ramble on for a long time there. We did have Mark BKR join us. How's it going, Mark?
Oh, it's going pretty good.
Excellent. We're glad to have you on the panel. Do you guys want to go ahead and get into your picks of the week?
Sure. I'm going to jump in because I didn't read a lot this week. I'm going to give 2 quick books. I loved Fight Club, so Fight Club number 3 came out. Big fan. And the Flash Annual, just due to the fact that it had Impulse in it.
I would like to point out that both Fight Club 2 and 3 are still written by Chuck Palahniuk.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And they're super, super twisted.
Well, Chuck wrote them. Have you ever read any of his books? All of his books are messed up.
I do want to give a shout out. We've got Joe Ryan Comics in there in the chat. Also, I want a big quick announcement that starting – is it Wednesday? When's the auction, Carson?
Oh, on JP's channel. That should be this Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's every first and third Wednesday of the month.
So every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, Comic Core is going to be coming to you live twice a week. And it won't be this crew. We've got a whole nother crew that's going to be hosting it and running it. And we've got 2 people right now. Well, actually 3 people have committed. And we've got JD, Comic Spectre, and none other than Comics Misexplained. So if you guys want to join them, and it'll be live.
Him.
I don't know. He just fell off the wagon or something. But so the second and fourth Wednesday of every month, they will be starting their on this channel. So support us, guys. The Comic Core is just growing.
When did we come up with that idea?
It was your idea.
Okay, that sounds good.
Because exactly what the community is lacking right now is live shows.
Yeah, let's get some more. I still say we should do the 24/7 Comic Core house.
Yes.
The heck?
I see people sitting there these days saying, "I'm thinking of doing a live show. Get out the Ouija board so I can figure out when to do it."
There you go.
I think 4 a.m. is open.
Yeah.
I call Bueller at 4 a.m.
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
Yeah.
He penis dialed me. Oh, butt dialed me.
Hey, whoa.
He butt dialed me.
Wow.
Miss Ren.
Calm down, Sam.
Oh.
Carson,
What?
save us.
Kat, what's your pick of the week?
Hi. So I don't have my order from Midtown yet. And due to weather, my shops were hit or miss whether or not they were actually open this week. So I unfortunately have not read The New Heroes in Crisis, but Wonder Woman was technically released this week. So I'm going to go with Wonder Woman issue 63. And if I'm going to go just in general, I just got this in the mail, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God.
Oh.
So good.
The new
I just watched
Steelbook.
that too.
So good.
So,
We're going to have to talk
Reign
about
of
that.
Superman.
So fine.
Strawberry wine. Legend bought me this book of rhymes. I'm working on it.
Hell yeah, inside, outside, every kind of side. Whoever got that TV on, you need to shut it down because it's making my damn smile turn upside down. That's what I'm
Sam,
saying.
Hit mute, Sam.
Yeah, mute that TV.
Gotta
the Legend. Damn, give me some time and I'll bust the rhyme. I'll tell you something, stranger. My pick of the week is the Lone Ranger. And that's Lone Ranger issue 2. Tonto on the cover with a dagger in his left hand, revolver in his right. And boy, Tonto and the Lone Ranger, this time they didn't go at night. They went by day. They had a plan to get the land deeds from all these Texas landowners who were rigging the system, changing the boundaries, putting barbed wire around, using a lot of intimidation and villainization to create corruption and destruction all over the state of Texas. And so Lone Ranger and Tonto, it didn't work the first time. In issue 1, Lone Ranger, of course, gets Tonto's help in this one. And Tonto has some smart moves and's got some great grooves to get the Lone Ranger the deeds that he needs to find out how and who owns this land the proper way, by the law's way. And the Lone Ranger and Tonto together, back as a team, they did what they needed to do. This is my pick of the week.
Nice. And I think those had some cool John Cassaday covers too.
Wait. Time out. Did I hear a clap? Y'all go right ahead. Clap about it, baby. You know the Legend only gives you the best on Friday nights on the Comic Core. That's right. And I can't check the chat right now because my phone ain't charged, but that's all right.
All right, thank you for that, Ledge. Apparently, you've been challenged by Economics and Comics on Instagram, so look out for that. Next up, we'll go to Midwest Comic Man. Paul, did you get a chance to read anything yet this week?
I'm too boring. I don't have a pick of the week.
Oh man, come on! Somebody your Wheaties or something. You were out there playing with Elsa all weekend.
Yeah, damn right. It was minus.
Let it snow. Let it snow.
It didn't snow. It was too damn cold. I sat in a corner almost.
I literally tried to tell you that it doesn't snow when it gets cold. You're like,
I know.
No, it's
well, it was minus 20 yesterday, and it snowed 4 inches. So
yeah, it did.
Just blew from your neighbor's yard. But your neighbor shoveled the driveway and blew it into your yard.
No. I wish. I have freaking 2 feet on the ground. I almost set my house on fire this week to stay warm, so I didn't read any books.
That's
Lone Ranger. Lone Ranger, awesome.
Whoa. Time out. You read the Lone Ranger issue 2?
Yes, I went. Oh,
yes.
Awesome.
He's over it. All right.
I don't think.
All right, so
I don't think you read it.
I hope it's getting slightly warmer for you there, Paul. Next up, we'll go to Sam's Tangled Web. Sam, did you get a chance to read anything this week? And he forgot. That's good. Sam. You're on mute, buddy.
Yeah, I got these books right here. I don't know how to unmute it. If I put my face closer to the screen, maybe that works.
Hey. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
We got some Doctor Strange right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Is that too?
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you read that one?
I did read that one.
Okay.
What was it about?
Doctor Strange.
It's Doctor Strange getting some craziness happening with his magic there. Yeah.
Well, that's not a broad statement at all.
No. And then we got this one. So.
Hold it up just a little bit. Is that Sentry on there?
It sure is, buddy.
Nice. I like me some Sentry.
I know he's not very popular. But
no, I like him. He's got like multi-personalities.
I know people
is that
hate
number
on
6?
That is
the last
number
one?
6.
Did you read the whole series?
You know what? I am missing 4 and 5.
Okay. So you didn't read that one?
I read this one.
Was it good? Because I haven't read it. That's why I'm asking.
I've read it, and it's a little confusing at the end. But
maybe you should read 4 and 5 first.
Yeah, I think I have to understand. I think I'm missing something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So, yeah. That's what I got.
Architect. He burns it down as usual.
Well, I got to cool off. Yeah.
See?
I love Sam.
You got to cool off. You were hot?
Yeah, from burning stuff down. Yeah.
Come on, Chad. Stick with us, buddy.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down, buddy.
Okay. And the architect just won the Rumble. Give him a break, Chad.
Yeah, there you go.
What you got this week, Bueller?
So my shop didn't get their books in, but I went to another shop and got some books there. So I didn't get my regular picks. I think they've already got them in. I just didn't go there to get them. But I went to another shop because I knew they would have this still on the shelf because they always have stuff like this still sitting on the shelf. And so I picked up the Batgirl number 31, and they had like 3 or 4 of them on the shelf actually. So I was pretty happy about picking that up. Looks awesome, some great art germ. And then I got my Spawn, and apparently there's a hubbub about this one, but this is not the one that has the issue. I guess there's a black and white version of this one that's like missing something, or I don't know. But it's issue number 293, and this has been really good. I've enjoyed reading these, and apparently he gets a new power or something in this one. And I've always liked Spawn, and it's still a $2.99 cover price. But the catch with this book is the price is not anywhere to be seen on the actual book itself. Even on the inside and out, we looked for it, we couldn't find it. And they tried to charge me $3.99. I said, "Whoa, wait a minute! I want that $1." So it's still $2.99. Very cool. So I got that one. And then they had this with the extra $1. I had to pick up a True Believers What If Conan, and so I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm going to read this one. But I didn't get my regular supply of books. I think there's like 12 or 13 books sitting in my box, hopefully by now. And I'll try to get there this weekend and get those. But I got these anyway because these are not on my pull list at my regular shop. And they're pretty cool. This cover looks amazing. And these are in these new Max Light bags that are from MaxProSupplies.com. And you can buy them there anytime you want. So there you go.
They're a certain person's sponsor.
They are.
Isn't there a promo code to save money on that?
Yeah, and it's like a Bueller.
How do you do it?
All you gotta do is go to MaxProSupplies.com, pick out whatever you want. These bags are like my new go-to bags, honestly, because they're like they're called Max Lights, and they're like Mylar bags, I guess. But like the 100, and you guys tell me, and I didn't know this, but the 100 pack of these are $4.89 on their website. That seems like a really low for like a Mylar bags or whatever. Is that? I mean, I've never bought them before, so you guys tell me. Is that low for what those are?
Yeah.
I got Kat chiming in. Thank you, appreciate that. Kat. That's a great press. I think that's a pretty damn good press.
But yeah, so you can go to their website, MaxProSupplies.com right now. You can buy whatever you want. And when you go to checkout, you type in the name Bueller, Bueller, and you receive 10% off your total purchase, which is pretty freaking cool if you ask me.
Bueller. That's
all capital letters.
Bueller.
Bueller. Yeah. Chad, copy and paste that, buddy.
I am.
I think Barbarian Kung Fu is nice enough to go ahead and put it in there. So thank you for that, Barbarian Kung Fu. We'll go ahead and get back into the chat here to see who else is joining. Flash page. We've still got Mastodon, Sheila Flaming, Joe Ryan Comics. How's it going, man? Glad you can make it. We got the Blasted or Stash It Comic Show in the chat. We got the Prince of Pops, Popcom. How's it going? We got Brett Heshart. Once again, check out his Instagram. He's got great stuff on sale over there. We got one of the most hardcore best collectors in the whole community, Mr. Gretzky 9966. I know he's filling up those Archies and those Action Comics and his runs. We still got Poor Mike in the chat. How's it going, Poor Mike? Economics and Comics. He says that Sam's shirt is sick. So there you go. There's my one for the night. I'll forward you the couple bucks later. Economics. And I think that's probably about everybody. We got Fish Tropic just dropped in. What is going on, Fish Tropic? I think he just crossed 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube. So big congratulations!
Hey, awesome.
To Fish
awesome.
Tropic.
Good job there. And we also got Joe Ryan Comics. You said that, right?
I think I said Joe Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going, Joe?
Joe was sick this week.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, his throat
Sorry to hear
hurt.
that.
He said he was down and out and stuff.
Man, Joe Ryan. Damn, boy, that's a good channel right there. I like that channel. Y'all gonna have to get to subscribe to that channel because the Joe Ryan, man, he's bringing that heat. He bringing some of that heel heat.
The heel heat, I love it. Speaking of good shows, we got David from Beyond the Blast Doors. He says, hope you all join him at 11 a.m. Central. That's 12 Eastern Sunday for episode 57 live. So definitely, if you have a Sunday off, you're not doing anything, check out Beyond the Blast Doors. He's going to have a live show. And here's a segment I created about 2 minutes ago. My newsstand of the week. So
Transformers.
I got G.I. Joe Transformers. I got the whole 4-issue set.
Oh, that's good.
All newsstand. I paid only $8 for the whole set. So newsstand. I have all kinds of G.I. Joes and Transformers. So gotta have the crossover. So looking forward to checking that out. But there's my goofy topic of the night. It's done. And for our topic of the night, once again, thanks for being great.
Quick question before we get to the topic. They mentioned your new lighting system, and I saw the light that you're using. Are you blind yet?
No, check it.
I saw it too.
He told me to take a dryer sheet and tape it to the light, and not only is it like not blinding me, it doesn't smell too bad in here now. So thanks, Chad.
Oh.
I kid. It didn't smell that bad.
That's awesome.
I had a good idea.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
Yeah, it does.
Oh. All right.
Did I inadvertently roast myself? That's cool.
All right. So the topic of the night. Once again, big thanks, Great Legend. He's excellent at coming up with these topics. He wanted to talk about how your collecting has changed being on YouTube. So whether it be like the type of comics you buy, the type of supplies you get, what have you. I'm curious to see your guys' answers. So we'll go ahead and start with Sam's Tangled Web. So Sam, you've been on YouTube for quite a while. What has changed in your collecting habits since joining YouTube?
Just knowing Bueller has yes, I'm going to throw your name out there.
I change your habits to spend more money. Is that what it is?
Goes to Taco Bell more.
Yeah. There's been a little bit of that too, but just hanging out with somebody who also has the same hobby has really helped me out, and I just want to say thank you. So
you're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
You guys know Sam's just in the other room here. He's not actually at his own place. He's just in the other room. Can you get me a soda next time you get up, buddy?
Oh, I might be able to do that.
I just love it. Like he reaches his arm through his screen, and then on your screen, that's his arm right there.
But yeah,
that'd be so cool. Back to you, Sam.
No, but I mean, I think being on YouTube and stuff has really helped. And because you see what everybody else is doing out there in the community, and it doesn't really change what I'm picking up too much, but so there you go. So.
All right,
There you go.
There's your trident.
Yeah, as I say, Chad's been influenced by the YouTube lands. We bought a trident.
Yeah, I just buy like books that like characters are going to appear in movies and stuff now. Like that's it. I mean, if somebody's going to be in a movie, I buy it.
They're all in movies now. What are you talking about?
I know it makes
you gotta catch them all.
I just started collecting Pokemon too because it's a movie.
Nice,
pretty awesome. No, oh, there's like all kinds of dust, isn't there?
Chad,
We can't
Chad,
see
I have a question. I have a question. Completely off topic.
Yes.
What is your starter Pokemon?
Ooh.
You can start with any basic Pokemon. It doesn't have to be the OG3.
So like,
what's the OG3?
Yeah, like a Bulbasaur or something.
I use the Pokemon.
Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and Charmander were the OG3 starters.
How do you know all this, Caitlin?
Because I watched the show growing up.
I don't know. I don't know what those are,
I was
but
a
I'm gonna go with
90s
Squirtle.
child. Where were you?
I've got to catch them all.
You know who mine was? My one pick is Chimchar. He's the best.
What's the clown? What's the clown like mime thing?
Mr. Mime.
Mime Junior, Mr. Mime.
The best thing so far is the look on Mark's face when he's looking at Cat like, who the fuck are you?
I must have been stuck underneath the rock for a while, guys.
No, you were in Alaska.
Well, no, she probably hit you with a rock.
Hey, what's your middle name?
It's in our channel name.
Gotcha.
Ren?
No.
Figures.
Close.
Oh.
Yeah, nailed it.
Oh, figures.
It figures.
Figures. Figures. Bueller would get it.
Yeah, my middle name is Squirtle.
Squirtle.
All right, Squirtle. How is the YouTube land changed the way you collect? Because you're showing some interesting products there earlier. You got that sponsorship. How are you using this stuff now for your collecting? Is it more stuff you're going to be getting, or how's all this affected you, Bueller?
It's affected me a lot.
All right, next person.
You know, this is one thing I've noticed, and this doesn't have anything to do with what's been happening this week for me, but just throughout YouTube and watching YouTube, I've opened up my eyes to all the different things that are out there. Like before, I was looking and I was going to my local shop and I'd just see what they had on the shelf that week, and I was like, "Oh, that must be That must be the only books that are available." Okay, and then I go and I start doing these videos and these preview videos, and I started doing the digital preview videos. Okay, and I was pulling images of the digital stuff, and then I was like, "Oh man, there's a bunch more stuff that I'm missing that my LCS is not getting," type thing. So that right there is something that's changed from being a part of YouTube and watching YouTube, is just knowing that there's a bunch more things out there that I didn't know were out there that are available now. As far as the hobby itself and like what's going on now with the supplies, I was like, I told just a regular bag and board type guy, and I really didn't have any interest in all the other stuff, you know, the thicker boards or the Mylar bags and stuff. And then kind of having my eyes open over the last couple of weeks, it really makes me want to present my books a little bit better and make them look a little bit more crisp, because I didn't realize there was a difference until I saw this stuff. And then now that I'm seeing this stuff and these Max Light bags and stuff like that, they look good, because I have my old bags and stuff, you know, and that's not a reference to my ex-mother-in-law, but I have like the bags will get those little wrinkles and the waves in them and stuff like that. And like 90% of my comics now have those waves and stuff in the bags. Yep. And they just don't look really
is
good.
Weak, Mylar is strong.
Yeah. So I want to switch over to that type of bag. I think they're going to last longer. They look better. And that's something that through YouTube I've found, and it's changed. And of course, everything else that's kind of gone on has really changed my type of collecting, because now I'm buying stuff to send out, you know, and as far as like my Bueller boxes or something like that, you know. So mainly what I'm collecting, what I'm getting in, I'm just sending it right back out. And so I'm enjoying doing that. So that's something I'm doing this year that I'm kind of focusing on. But definitely just seeing everything new that I didn't know was available, that's probably the biggest thing that I would say has changed my collecting habits.
Bueller, I have a question real quick. You know, when you say you're getting these comics and then you're sending them out through Bueller boxes, that's basically pretty much they're you know, giving their little money to pay or whatnot, but this is like an AOK from Comics with Bueller. So anyone in the chat, I mean, totally take advantage of it because he's grabbing the best stuff. You know, he's looking for some of the hot stuff that he reads about or you know, finds out about, and he's getting these and he's putting these awesome books. These are the books that y'all want, and you'll find these in the Bueller boxes. So Bueller, you know, that you're doing a great service right there.
Yeah, I like putting them together. It's kind of, you know, I think we all look at our collection and at one time and say, okay, do we really need more? You know, I mean, I'm pretty content with my collection. I'm liking buying the newer books and kind of staying up with the stories and what's going on. So that's a whole nother category. But when I'm going and I'm buying like back issues and stuff right now, or digging through the 50-cent or dollar boxes and looking for some good stories or great covers or some keys that might just be might be hidden in there. Now I'm just buying those to send out because I'm content on what I have as far as my back issue supply. So I really like the fact that I'm having a chance to share some of those because I didn't realize how many people didn't have the books available like I do in the Pacific Northwest, and look what Sam does as far as how many shops are around, how many 50-cent boxes that the shops have and stuff like that. I come to find out that people live in areas where there's no comic shops within 80 miles, or they don't have dollar boxes. And so if I can send those out to the people for a very cheap price, and when I say cheap, I mean it's literally like $1 a book for a dollar or less a book. That's kind of what I'm doing. So I like doing that. It's fun.
I have comic shops within 80 miles. They just all suck.
One thing that hasn't changed, Rob Liefeld can still not draw feet.
I saw that today. What is that thing?
Well, first off, seriously, what if I can show it online? What is this?
I don't know.
It's the new guy.
I was like, what
That's
in
the
the
new
world?
guy, man.
Chad, there's a little thing right there that says, "Who is Major X?"
It doesn't.
Major disappointment.
Yeah, it doesn't explain it.
Here's your new guy right there.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, he literally put 2 left feet on the person in this.
Yeah.
Well, that's not the first time he did that.
No.
You think you just start covering up the feet with pouches?
Yeah.
A favor.
Yeah, I mean, literally, that's like one of the places I don't think it's ever placed.
Y'all don't know the true story about that whole thing?
No.
Let's hear it, legend.
In the chat.
Liefeld,
It's dreadful.
huge professional wrestling fan, and the whole feet thing, that's actually a gimmick. You know, he draws bad feet, he draws shitty feet because all of his other artwork is pretty awesome. So that's his thing. That's like his shtick. But everyone says, "Yeah, you draw crappy feet," and you know what? You're booing him. Yeah, you're booing him. But that's his job because Rob Liefeld is a heel.
Wait.
There you go.
He's a heel.
I want to back up for a second. Legend, did you say he draws bad feet because everything else he draws is awesome?
That's what the public thinks. Why does the guy still have a job, man? He's been consistently drawing the way he does, and people love it. He's a heel. He's a heel that everyone loves to hate, and they keep buying his stuff. I must have bought 10 of them. I bought 10 of them X-Force bag books back in the day.
There you go.
He's got a point.
People eat Tide Pods. That doesn't make it right.
Yeah, but they don't eat Tide Pods for 25 years.
He has got me there. God dang it. I feel bad, man, because like little kids eat those, man. Oh.
I just can never get past the feet. When they did the Rebirth one, was it Rebirth or Heroes Reborn or whatever? And he did that Captain America and that last page in the Captain America book where his chest was about the size of a '63 Buick.
I do remember that. I don't know what he was thinking about that.
I mean, you couldn't tell if the chest was sideways or facing to you because it took up 3/4 of the page.
He could have been thinking that he wanted the chest to be like a colored mountain with his face on the top, like his own solo Captain America Rushmore mountain, just like only a Captain America face. But I don't know. Yeah, that chest was kind of weird.
I remember I was working at a comic book store back when Image formed and everything. And my cousin was also a huge collector. And he always used to sit there and be like, "You got to check out this guy Liefeld." And I'm like, dude, he sucks. I'm like, it's pouches and lines. I mean, his faces are just horrible. I don't know. I never got Liefeld. I know in the 90s when he first came out, a lot of people got him, and he was never there for me. I mean, I got all the other ones. I got Jim Lee, I got McFarlane, I got Silvestri. I loved them all. You know, Dale Keown. But
so you knew all these people and they were there for you?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, then screw Liefeld. If he wasn't there for Paul,
there you go.
That's right.
That explains a lot. That explains why you are the way you are.
Hey. Chad, are you gonna tell the second half of that funny joke that you started last week?
Hey, real quick, can I go back to this real quick?
No.
Yeah.
The Liefeld thing. One more thing about him, old Liefeld. If you look at Todd McFarlane 90s art, really freaking awesome, Spawn and everything, and you look at Jim Lee 90s, where he had the X-Men, if you take both of those artists and you overlay their art, or you kind of like convergence, right? You push their art together as one, it would look like some Rob Liefeld shit. That's what it would be. I mean, no disrespect to Jim Lee or McFarlane. It's just you put those kind of artwork together, and it won't look good. And that's the Liefeld. He lies to your field of view. The field of view. He lies to your field of view. View the comic book. That's the thing with Liefeld. That's the reality of Liefeld.
So let me hit the chat real quick. We got Mo. I remember seeing Wolverine done by Liefeld. Yep.
Yep.
Joe Ryan wants to hear the end of my joke. I thought it was funny. Lord of the Long Boxes out there says 40 people, but only 20 thumbs up. What the blank? I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Fuck is wrong with you people? Thumbs this bitch up. Liefeld / Legend Ross Economics Epic Battle Rap Battle Challenge. What? Oh, that's
happening.
Can I jump in on the Liefeld thing real quick?
Yes.
So here's the thing. Kind of how I feel about Liefeld. When he came out and all the other guys came out, all the artwork looks so different. Okay, and it's like, oh, the Liefeld stuff. Because if you go back and look at Liefeld stuff like on New Mutants that he did, it looked pretty good, and I thought it was right there and stuff. And but I just don't think his artwork did not age very well. Is one of the things is I think as time has gone on, his artwork has not aged to where like Jim Lee and McFarlane's still looks really good and it's top notch. And then you have all these newer artists that are on board that are doing stuff that are all really, really good as well. But Liefeld's art, at the time when it first started coming on, I thought it looked really good, but it just didn't age as well as the other people's did.
And Bueller, another thing, bringing up McFarlane and Jim Lee, I bet you agree with me in this, Bueller, that I think they've improved since their 90s versions of themselves. That's what
I was going to say. They've evolved, and they've evolved in a good direction. I mean, you can evolve in a worse direction. I mean, see Frank Miller.
But Liefeld hasn't progressed at all, and he's transcended like time and space, and he's in a whole different atmosphere.
And Mastodon says Liefeld got me into comic collecting. And I mean, that's great. I mean, it got into the hobby, but I think you've probably evolved to where you probably look at it now and say, that's not good.
And when the first time I slowed down, Mastodon brings up a good point. He said Liefeld got him into collecting. And when I came back for maybe like a little quick bit, in the mid 2000s, 2005 or so. And, like you, Liefeld got me into collecting. Liefeld got me out of collecting too. when I attempted my first comeback, it wasn't until my second comeback, it was the Great Legend show,
Yeah. But you came back wearing a 45, and it wasn't to play games. It was to aim at you, probably maim you.
Well, I didn't come back with a 45 with the intent to kill. It was the 45 to come back and come at you live.
And I think
I was just rapping.
I think the worst part about Liefeld is he inspired a bunch of artists. I mean, you look at like the stuff that came out of his studio, and when he first started with Image and before he got kicked out, and these guys were completely aping him and Liefeld has some modicum of talent. There's something there because people liked him, like Travis said, his stuff on New Mutants. But it's like these guys who started copying him and trying to do his style weren't as good as him and did it worse, and that's just even more horrible.
Yeah, I looked at that. I think he did a Wolverine drawing, one of the covers of the X-Men or something like that, and I was just kind of looking at it. I was like, man, that does not. He can do better. I just kind of looked at it that way. Compared to some of his early artwork compared to that one, which is brand new, he could do a lot better because I remember him doing a lot better. Like I was looking at like the Wolverine's chest and like the abs and stuff, and they were unrecognizable. It was like he just scribbled some lines, and it didn't look good. So. But
everybody talks about how he draws these characters with muscles on muscles, and he can't draw feet, but he also draws women with like 6-inch waists.
So I have a question for everybody on here. Then, how come we're talking about how like horrible he is? All right, and
I didn't say it was horrible, Chad.
I'm going to tell you exactly what Chad's trying to say. I'm going to go ahead and answer. I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer before the question is asked.
I was going to
keep Rob Liefeld alive. The thing that entices people to see what Rob Liefeld is doing. Let me tell you, about 5 years ago, maybe 6, 7, I don't know how long ago, but he does this all the time. Rob Liefeld always has his name in the media, whether it be old school 90s media where he's putting his name in the magazines, or going farther, once we get the websites, he's quoting the websites, he's doing this, he's bitching about this, he's, angry at something. He's trying to cause controversy in comics. Well, but, looking back in the past, I'd say that once the Deadpool movie hit and he knew they were going to make a movie of Deadpool, he got his shit together, basically. You always kind of hear that story. Y'all even probably heard this before about how he was a bad boy. He was a bad boy at comics. And sometimes there's wannabes that want to be just like a Rob Liefeld. They want that fame. They want that fortune. They think they're the hot shit. But then they say a little bit and they talk a little bit too far because they think, they're the only superstar, but they're not, so the fame gets to their head. But once the Deadpool movie thing came around and he knew the money that was going to be on the line, he knew it was time to act like a real rhyme. And when I say real rhyme, like a real man, to shut the F up, get things done. And now the fans are back, man, and they're praising him like they praise the sun. But he ain't one of those. So anyway, you love Liefeld, you hate him. That's the question. That's the answer. Chad, back to you, brother.
So I'm going to shout out to the chat. We got Mr. Gretzky9966. He is saying John Romita Jr., Comic Book Gallery, Preach On, Legend, Stay Puff, 1983. Sup, everybody. And then Economics and Comics is still challenging people to rap battles for some reason.
Who wants the rap?
So what was your question earlier, Chad? Before,
so my
gave his answer.
Yeah, he gave his answer. But, Blue Brick.
Blue Brick.
Blue Brick.
God.
The musical. Blue Brick, the musical. As performed by just Chad.
What is he doing to Legend's right. He's staying in the media and he's staying that. But why are people still buying his stuff?
Deadpool.
Exactly. So
back. Yeah. Well, I do. Can I do what Legend would call a shoot for a second on this whole situation originally? Because I was just sitting here listening.
Is it a pipe bomb? Please make it a pipe bomb.
Yeah, I don't know if I get a pipe bomb, but I don't know if you still have that the whole display up you had earlier with the cover and everything. But my buddy sent this to me. Actually, it had nothing to do with the community. It's just someone I chat with about comics. But I immediately just got pissed off seeing this thing. It's everything that's wrong with Marvel Comics today. And they're just they're bringing Liefeld back into the fold. They're giving him a new X-Men character to screw around with. They're probably going to have tons of variants on it, and they're going to make like a new character. It's first big deal Liefeld character since Deadpool. So it's just got nothing but dollar signs and zero quality written over it. And that's the stuff that just kind of makes me mad. with the way they do with modern comics today. So I hope this thing bombs. I don't want to see an issue 2 of it. I will not buy the speculative appearance, so that can just F off, basically. So.
Do you think people buy it?
Oh, people will buy it, sure.
No, I mean, like, do you think people buy it just because of namesake alone? Just, oh, it's Rob Liefeld, I'm going to buy it, right?
A little bit of that. It's a first appearance. People look at it as a key. It's a Rob Liefeld. So, like I said, it doesn't matter what the character is. If it's a first appearance, people will buy it.
I mean, and let's not forget. I mean, if they hand him something like this, the reason Rob Liefeld got basically fired from Image is he cannot meet a deadline. He just can't. He's horrible. He never gets things in on time.
They won't go along.
Right.
Hopefully. But there's my little bit of a shoot, I guess. But back on to our topic. We'll get back on track here. So I want to go to KATREN Figures next. How is the YouTube? Hi. How has the YouTube community influenced your collecting, whether it be through your collection, supply type of things you buy now, or both?
Yeah,
all right.
Let's hear this.
I'm going to get in trouble here. I know it. But
it's okay.
When I first started out, I was just getting my pulls from my local LCS, and it was mostly just stuff I was reading and occasionally a variant that I really liked on the wall. And then it was like, oh, there are all these other variants that I didn't even necessarily know about because my shop couldn't get a hold of them because, you know, my shop's not as big as like a Midtown or my comic shop or something along those lines. So then I started going after like this or that, and I really got interested in a lot of different artists that I had never been exposed to before. So I'm like, oh, well, I love this artist, so I'm going to check out all of their work. And, you know, that's when I got really hooked on things like Art Germ or David Finch or Kenneth Rockford, some of my favorites. George Perez, we all know and love. But I really got interested.
Going too soon.
Stop it. Stop it. He's fine.
Still gone too soon.
Clear.
Anyone who missed the last show, yes, Legend gave me a heart attack because of that. But I got really interested in some of the key appearances of some characters that I had fallen in love with throughout different runs, and I really wanted to complete that.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Okay. Yep.
Mark, can you show me your cup?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a hot mess.
Classy.
Look.
Yep.
Actual barware, a Pyrex glass.
I can put this in the oven at 500 degrees. What about that?
We have actual drinking glasses. He just likes using Pyrex.
I think
has a handle
for some reason.
I think you should just get him a dog bowl.
Just give him one of those horse feeders.
That's just mean.
I'm okay with that because
I'm
okay with that because I just watch you do jazz hands.
I was trying to imitate her, by the way.
Cat, slap the shit out of him at any time.
Not on camera. Not on camera.
Tell her to do that. I mean,
I don't need any more makeup on my face.
Oh my gosh.
How's that mustache doing?
Oh, it's going great.
You mean the baby hairs?
You know, let's get back to the pools, KATREN. Let's get back to the pools. KATREN, let's get back to the pools.
Back to the pools. So I got more interested in checking out certain things that I'd never really even thought of before, and definitely never really thought of slabbing a book before getting involved with this community. But it's definitely been a lot of fun, and my collection's grown. I'm sure Mark can attest to that.
It's huge.
Princess of the community.
It's huge.
Her collection is huge.
That does make sense.
Thanks for clarifying that there, Mark.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it is.
You're welcome.
Happy birthday.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sam, how about you?
We already did Sam.
What?
Nothing.
No? Okay.
To get his mix correct. Okay. Respect.
Carson, get back in the form, man.
So, Paul, I don't think Paul has gone yet. Paul, what do you think about this whole topic?
Well, I mean,
didn't read any books.
Yeah, that's right. No, I had been out of comics for quite some time and got back into it about, I would say, probably 6 months before I started back in on YouTube, which was 2-3 years ago. And when I got back into it, I almost fell into the trap. I started watching all these videos and I started chasing the hot new variant or chasing this, that, the other thing, buying all these new books. And then I came to realize I don't really like most new books. I mean, my thing has always been Golden Age, Silver Age, and Bronze Age. And so I've kind of refocused my collection back on that. And it's like I've said a number of times, and we've all said a number of times, collect what you like. And for a while, I was trying to collect stuff I didn't really like. And it just, I don't know. I think everybody's got to do their own thing and find out what they like. And so, yeah, I mean, I think I started out falling into that trap, but went away from it. And that's all I got because I'm boring.
No, I agree with you, Paul. At the end of the day, you just got to kind of collect what you want and what you can, too. It's just what I've kind of learned is just like you're never going to get every single book you want ever. I hate to say the soul-crushing truth, but it's just true. The best you can do is try your best.
I collect Golden Age, so I'm not going to get a lot of the stuff I want.
Right.
But
in Midwest, you're not boring.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
We love you.
You did have an intro, but you didn't allow me to say it.
That was the funniest intro ever.
What?
What?
It was amazing.
It was awesome. I said, do you know what? Sam left.
Yeah.
Because I'm boring.
You're not boring.
Do you know what Midwest comic? Oh, man.
Are you gonna do it?
What's happened?
What he has in common with this Arctic chill? They're both really hard, and when it gets warm, it gets really soft.
What? Yeah, you know,
I'm kicking
Carson.
Let
me tell you, Carson.
He said
I haven't
yet. I heard that. I was watching it.
I've been in the comic book community for a real long time, and we've had some good times. We've had some bad times. You know, the great legend's only getting better at doing some rhymes. But, you know, I got all this stuff that I've learned through the years from the comic book community. So when I got into this in 2011, before, you know, I just kind of started, you know, pulled out some comics that I had from the 90s and the 2000s and everything. Looked them over and says, you know what? I want to see if anyone else has any like comic book boxes and see what their collections have. And then I found like Captain Strangelove. And man, when you watch a guy that, you know, is over as legendary as that man, old Hans, and you watch and you listen to the stories, it's like he turns back time to where it's the old school rewind, and man, you're just enthralled and you're enhanced in it. But let me tell you, so watching him and, you know, watching other people and getting invited to do various live shows throughout the years, that some of the cool things that I've learned back in the day, like I say, Captain Strangelove, I learned what Mylar was, you know, and then, man, once I got my first big batch of Mylar, I was freaking hooked. It's like Bueller said, you know, when you look at the like poly bags and you see books in poly, whether it be propylene or thylene, and then you put it in Mylar, it's like you got the best new bifocals or glasses, or you seeing in 4K for the first time. So that's been some really cool stuff to learn, you know, about that. And as far as books, you know, when you first get back into the hobby, everyone's showing all kinds of cool stuff. There's so many books, so many titles. It really can get overwhelming. But I've always, anytime I've ever done anything is, just pick the stuff that I like. And, I like Fantastic Four, Shazam, I got into Jonah Hex, because I saw it on the shelf, it was the New 52. That's when I kind of got back into collecting, and I saw that Phantom Stranger book and all this kind of stuff. I think it was Jonah Hex issue 0 and Phantom Stranger issue 0. That was about the time I got back in. So maybe 1 year into the New 52, but I mean, just pick out some cool stuff, grab some stuff off the shelf, pick up a Popeye book every now and then, and don't worry about if someone has like all these books in their videos. Just kind of enjoy and worry about your own stuff, and once you figure that out, I mean, it's going to take a while for it to sink in, because some of us are hard-headed and we want to become, YouTube superstars and everything, but you can't forget your own true self. And, I think I've learned that in the comic book community, because like I said, and I'm not like trying to preach to you, because the young great legend, he was looking at people. He was jealous. He was, he was, oh man, I'm like the top dog in the YouTube comic book community because I got thousands of subs and stuff. Yeah, I was kind of a prick like that. Like I didn't like show it, but behind the scenes, I was like, yeah, I got my monetization money coming in for these Skylanders. and I guess that's really not my that has nothing to do with the comic book community. But yeah, in the younger years, when I was the video game guy, I was like that. So just try to remember to be true to yourself and pick out some cool stuff that you like. Say you watch a movie, get a movie, get a comic book about the movie. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. And just special shout out to Hans. You changed my life with the Mylar, buddy. E. Gerber, my lights or whatever. Fullback. Oh, he also was the man. Every good father needs to tell their son or daughter. The birds and the bees. Well, me and Hans, he told me a different story. It was about the fullbacks and the halfbacks.
No.
And I'm not going to go into that.
No birds and bees in here. Nope.
I would like to touch on something that I saw in the chat. Jack, just to get off the subject.
No birds and bees.
Please, no birds and bees.
Jack Hero said, I'll always love Silver and Bronze Age, but modern books can do so many things that the others couldn't. And what does he mean there? Because, I mean, to me, essentially, comic books have not changed since the 1930s. It's ink on a page.
Yeah, and
I think he's referring to the content that is in the books as far as like what's limited the stories back then to what they can do now is pretty much unlimited to what areas they can kind of jump into as far as
well, they jumped into all kinds of areas they can't jump into now in the golden age because a lot of the books were openly racist.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff. But I mean, you had the comic code or whatnot, there for so long, which limited what type of story you would have. To where now you got titles called sex criminals and and curse words and stuff like that. Which is the broader storylines. I think there's many more storylines now that are not superhero based. Not that they were in the golden age, but it was golden age stuff was like murder mystery and like war and stuff like that. To where now I just think the storytelling is much broader.
I think there was a lot more variety in the golden age. Well, more like there is now. There was romance, there was western, there was superhero, there was war, there was horror, and then the comic code kind of came in and cut a lot of it out. And then the Silver Age started, and it's the same thing as the birth of the golden age. Yeah. Once Action Comics #1 came out, everybody wanted to do superheroes. Yeah. And the same thing happened when Showcase 4 came out and Flash really blew up. And then you had Marvel with Fantastic Four #1, and it exploded, and everybody had to do superheroes. I think it's kind of a cyclical thing. Yeah. I mean, granted, the comic code did throw a wrench in it, but it just does seem to be that something becomes hugely popular and everybody tries to do it, and then it kind of contracts and everybody starts doing their own thing again.
I do love a good Western, though.
So he also said, what B said, also coloring in digital, from Jacko.
I think you get a much better quality of image than you used to get.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt.
Yeah.
But I gotta touch on what Joe Ryan says here. He says comic book collecting isn't one thing. Slabs aren't for everyone. New books aren't for everyone. Trades aren't for everyone, but all should be accepted. Absolutely. And that's
what I'm talking about. I know what that's Joe Ryan, man. That dude, that's a damn good guy right there. I love Joe Ryan.
I'll throw it out there right now. Joe Ryan, who was going to be our guest, but Sam's Tangled Web, the architect, had to be on the show because he said if I don't, I was going to burn it down.
Hey, Joe Ryan 2020, man.
Joe Ryan Joe Ryan didn't have his voice. Is he down to be on with us next week or not?
And you did a video about that legend, I think, at one point, because inside the YouTube community for a time, there was people who would look down on other people because they didn't collect the same way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was that was wild, man. That was really wild. Yeah, that did happen.
And people get on people for liking slabs. I mean, TJ loves slabs.
God, I love it. I love it all, man.
I still Slab Dragon, and like, I mean, I've said it. I've said it probably 100 times. I love stories. Carson, one of the biggest things I'm so envious of, jealous that Carson has is a sketchbook. KATREN. You love what you're saying that you always say.
Lover of art.
Lover of art, man.
I look at it this way: collect what you love what you collect. My collection is completely different than Legend's collection, than Carson's collection, than Bueller's collection. But I mean,
boring.
Every book in my collection is it's a story to me. It's something that's dear to me, and my collection. It's the stuff I love.
That's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm kind of downsizing my collection to things that I have a personal connection with. I mean, I have
Red Trident. I have a personal connection to it.
I just kind of thought about this whole thing, like KATREN said, collect what you like, love what you collect. God bless our bro Tom, old Hippies Collectibles. I know Mr. Gretzky's out there watching. He knows what I'm talking about. But, I just kind of laugh at it now, and I'm thinking about what I've done in the past, what I've said in the past about, well, I want, I want this. I want complete story. I want cover attached. I want coupon attached. You know what, man? I'm bringing this down, man. I ain't ever said this before, because I'm coming at you live tonight. This is the first time I'm saying this, and I'm kind of if you haven't seen my Legends Truth, go watch my Legends Truth video last night. And when you watch that video, you're going to be able to tell how I got from that video to this video. So if you want to know, check out the Great Legend Show, youtube.com/rdowdy95. Check out that video I did last night or last morning or whatever. But, here's what I'm going to say about the comics. Give me the paper with some staples in it. I don't care. It don't have to have a cover. It could have some shit missing out of it. I don't care, because here's the thing. I'm putting the money down. If I want to pay $5 for a book that has some of the story pages missing or something, I'll go ahead and pay the $5. Man, it's like, just do what you want to do. I own coverless books. I own books with rusted stables. I've owned books with tears. I've owned books with, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, and tables, ladders, and chairs. God dang! If you don't like a book, if you don't like a book or a stack of books, put them between your legs, lift them up in the air, and power bomb your comics.
But, well, I was wondering where you were going with that at first.
What?
Yeah, over a freaking table. Power bomb your comics on the table.
Let's go back to the Mandela effect for a second.
Do you really? No, you don't want to do that because it'll be too long. But no, what I'm saying is just collect, collect the comics you like.
Color bombing comics, anything.
Yeah, just kind of collect the books you like, and but that's me kind of going forward. I'll buy anything like if I see or if I'm wanting that item or whatnot, I'll buy like an old Golden Age that doesn't have a cover or whatnot. It doesn't bother me,
I'll tell you one thing. One thing I've noticed as a general trend that I've seen, and people agree or disagree on the panel, I've noticed that when most people start on YouTube, they start in the mode of shit, buy everything. And then I've noticed that after a couple years, I've watched all these channels, and every single one of them says, I'm downsizing my collection. I'm going for the keys. I'm going for what I like. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're exactly right, Paul. Exactly right. It takes time for us YouTubers to figure that out. I'm guilty of it. Even though I did love all those new 52s. There was just too many of them in the long run, man. They overwhelmed me. But I did love those stories. New 52 for life. Okay, but yeah, exactly right. And then I think it just comes to a point where you're, you kind of come out of that mode, and you're kind of slowing down, and you're not, I don't know. I don't want to say people are trying to compete against each other. I don't think it's that at all. I think it's just the more comics that you have and all this stuff, I think it becomes very overwhelming to keep up with so many storylines and so many comics, and then when you're, you have to have your real life time, and, you can't, sometimes you just can't keep up with all the story arcs because you have too much real life stuff to do.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just, I would like to point out Bueller is new and Bueller is buying everything.
But he is sending it.
He sends it out to you folks in Bueller boxes.
I'm not buying everything.
He's not buying everything. He focuses more on
the good stuff, the little sneaky
50 cents,
the good deals, but with like really hidden treasures as well.
Well, I can tell you this on my pull list, as far as how many titles are on my pull list, I'd say there's probably about 20 monthly titles, which I think, I mean, I don't know if that's a lot. I don't think it's a lot, but there's probably about 20 monthly titles. And then as far as the other stuff I'm buying, I'm literally, it's 50-cent dollar bin books. I don't know the last time I've spent more than $1 on a back issue book. It's probably been about 3 or 4 months before I've actually bought a back issue book for more than $1 type thing. So I mean,
Comic Gallery said in the chat, you're wrong, and I think he or she is gonna need to be more specific.
Also, Bueller, with the 50-cent books, like, you're getting these great back issues, and say especially, like, for me personally, if it was a back issue of the Fantastic Four for 50 cents, I don't care if I already have it. I'm buying it again. It's like, you cannot turn down awesome stories and art and stuff. Condition, I know it may not be 9/8, but I mean, like, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you can get books for 20% of their cover price, and I figure why not? I think it's I can provide them a better home than them just sitting there in a box at some antique store, and send them out to people that might like them, or make KATREN laugh or something like that, and give Mark some new ice cream or something. I don't know. Maybe some Taco Bell love from
Taco Bell. There you go.
Hey, Carson, that's right, Carson. And you do a lot of the great finds too, where you live in the 50-cent and dollar boxes. What's your thoughts?
I went to the rich one this week. It's $1.50 for these comics at this half price books. But I found an X-Men exclusive comic that was exclusive to Taco Bell, so I had to buy it. And I also found the X-Men that was exclusive to Pizza Hut. So it was a good
score. Double score.
Yeah. So, I mean, I do buy if you guys watch my channel, which most people don't. But anyway, I buy way too many comics. I'll be the first to admit that. But I try to buy 50 cents, the 20 cents, the dollars. And then I found these for $1.50. So I found all these nice Brian Bowen covers there. So, like I said, I just like getting books and all that type of stuff.
So
yeah, go ahead, Chad.
Quick update on the chat. We got Joe Ryan Comics. He said he's down for next week. We got Robert Galvin in the house. He asked, "What did I miss?" Nothing much because Paul talked.
That was mean. That was mean.
Chad is mean. It's okay. We still love him.
Chad's not mean.
I think you need to rename the title of this week's show to Chad Hates Paul and Paul Hates Chad.
That was mean.
Wow.
It's not mean. I tell Chad on
it's a cat fight. Let's name it what it is. It's a cat fight.
Bueller, I tell Chad on a daily basis I hate him. Just usually.
Look at that.
Yeah,
I love Chad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bueller.
That's beautiful.
Here's a quick
Black
question for the channel.
Look at that.
So if when you're collecting, if you get doubles of a book, do you keep it or do you try to unload it to someone? Do you give it to someone? I mean, I'm the type that I only read it in the bathtub.
It depends.
Yeah, I
think it depends. Like, what is the book? What's the significance of it? If it's like the first appearance of a character that I really care about, I might keep the second copy just for the hell of it.
Well, like that's like Ginny right now. She's taking my wife. She's taking a bath, and I let her. She loves Wolverine, so she's reading the Hulk 181 in the bathtub.
In the bathtub,
and she's making half of it wet.
Yeah, just the bottom part. It's dry now. Don't worry about it. I'll send it to you to get pressed.
As long as the bottom part's wet, that's what counts.
I agree with Kat. If it's like a significant issue to you personally, or even if it's like another extra Hulk 181, I like to keep those issues. Of course, I'll sell if I have, more than two. I like to have at least two, but of a special issue. But yeah, keep some, sell some. Some people will only hold on to one at a time, but what they'll do is when they get the double, they'll see which one's the better grade. They may sell the better grade, or they'll keep the better grade and sell the crappier grade. Some people do that too, and sometimes gone too soon.
So what I
get
doubles and
stop it with the gone too soon legend.
Gone too soon. All right,
I just give my.
I can only have one heart attack in a month. Legend. Okay, let's stop.
I just give all my doubles go to Sam. That's kind of the thing. And Sam can contest it. I got doubles here, Sam. Just take them.
Go ahead, and I have something to say about it.
What?
I said you were about to talk, say something, and then I got something to say.
No, it was really funny, but I'm not going to say it now.
Oh, thank God! Spare us your joke.
Say it.
Blue brick.
I want to hear it.
Say it.
Blue brick.
I don't want to hear another blue dick joke from you.
We should make shirts for the channel that literally just say Comic Core, and then the image is a blue brick.
I think that could be our new.
And
logo.
then don't say anything about it.
People will be like, "What the heck?" I'm like,
Comic Core blue brick, and then inside the blue brick it says hashtag GONE 2 SOON.
No. I didn't. Did Carson know that people actually thought he was gone too soon last week?
Yeah, Alex was like, poor Carson. I'm like, what the
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I thought you had already went up.
Okay, I missed part one. Oh, well.
Shit.
So Legend, you may agree with me on this. I mean, my thing is like with a Golden Age book, I only need one. If I get an extra one, I'm gonna get rid of the worst copy for someone because someone else.
That's what I do.
That book. Someone else needs that book.
Mm-hmm. And exactly.
Modern stuff. Hey, maybe I'll get 2-3 copies of something, but silver and gold, you can't do that. And also, like GPAP said just now in the chat, this is also a good point. He said, I only need one. He says, I'll thin stuff out so I can get something I really want.
And what else?
That's exactly me. That's the only one I think I have multiples of is Fantastic Four 36, First Frightful Four, God, I don't know what it is. I just love that thing. I don't know that cover. It gets me. But yeah, you're exactly right. That's why for me, if it's if I've got Silver Age, sell, get rid of one so you get some money for something else you need to add to your collection. And then exactly, Paul, it gives the person that's buying it something for their collection. So it's a win-win for both people. And it's a big win for eBay because those bastards charge fees.
I mean, like,
Chad, are you okay over there?
And like we've talked about it sometimes with our Golden Age stuff.
We lost Chad. Everyone's looking Chad.
Chad's got the next turn after Paul. So Paul, go ahead and finish your point, and then we'll turn it over to Chad. Go ahead, Paul.
Like Golden Age is different.
Thanks, Mom.
Legend, we've talked about it with his Three Stooges stuff. Some of these books, there's less than 20 estimated to exist. I mean, so if you got 2, someone else wants that book. Give it to them.
That's right.
All right, Chad, it's your turn. Go ahead.
What's Gene always say? I mean, what's GPAP always say about
Candles?
low grade? Low grade is
better than no grade. And he also says Chad's an asshole.
I got a bad grade.
I was muted.
No, he did.
Oh, does Kat want to turn too? Kat, you can go next. I think it's next. Go ahead.
That's you, honey.
What?
Well, I think it was Chad has
Hi.
an asshole.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
Oh,
no, but nobody here is a butthole. Everybody's fun.
There you go. Thank you, Mark.
Shout ahead. Woo, woo, woo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
Mark has his moments.
Low grade is better than no grade.
Low grade is definitely better than no grade.
I love low grade.
Classic GPAP right there. That's GPAP.
We all know the story behind.
Let me tell you, KATREN, there's
my
this
first
guy
Starfire.
named Gene Paul Ace Peter, and man, he taught us back in the day that low grade is better than no grade because at least you got the book and you could put it in your run, and later on you could read it so you can have some fun.
Yeah, that's good. Did you guys check out the concert that Legend did last night? I mean, it was he just went on for like hours just doing his rap, and it was great, man. I mean, the music in the background going
last night.
The Legend's Truth, it changed lives last night. I tell you what, for all you young aspiring YouTubers that want 1,000 subs, you can enable
live stream.
I need $17 in super chats last night, people. That's what it's all about, So keep getting better. Keep getting better at what you do. Remember, hashtag we can't all be winners, but get better at what you do, and then join the ranks of the Comic Tom 101s and the Comics with Bueller and the KATREN figures and things and the Midwest Comic Man and the C. Woodard 1-9 and the Sam's Tangled Web. Damn, did I get everybody?
No.
Just Chad.
And the most important channel of them all, the Great Legend Show. No, I'm kidding. It's the Comic-Core, people. It's the channel you're watching right now. And I want to hear from the man, the heart and the soul behind the Comic Code. And I'm talking Chad. What's happening, man?
I love it. That's awesome.
Love my Chad, baby. We're going to go to C2E2. We're going to see the sights and watch Drew hump the lights.
Probably.
Man, I'm going to have a nature boy Ric Flair moment. I'm going to go crazy. I'm just going to mute my mic. So, Chad, it's all yours tonight.
That guy Drew had sex with a light post on live stream. It was.
I'll send you a picture.
Huey from Blaster Stash it said, "Why all of a sudden does Great Legend sound like Dr. Phil?"
Joe Ryan, are you questioning your decision yet? He's really like,
special shout out to Robert Galvin. He's in the chat.
He's got a new logo too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's like a G spot.
Galvin's been like quiet.
Man, Robert.
I was yawning and waving and trying to cover my yawn at the same time.
Galvin's been quiet for a week, but I'm from Iowa, and he's from Michigan, or Wisconsin, so I know what he's dealing with.
Hey, this is a little special thing for Robert Galvin. Hey, I got some good news from the post office today, buddy. Just to let you know, he knows what I'm talking about. That's all.
Oh,
okay.
He says he likes the redhead.
Oh,
cover, so there's one more for you.
Super
Robert.
secret messages.
Oh, double
secrets.
I was on double
secrets
probation in college.
So yeah
man.
No, Chad. What you had in college was called an ankle brace.
So that was prison when I got out.
You want some of that? I know you want some of that. You want some of that, don't you?
What, house arrest again? No, I can't get
Tonto.
I gotta be good because I got
Tonto, man.
Carson, have you shared how your collecting has changed?
Nope, I was going to go ahead and wrap this all into one thing. So it was kind of the topic we're finishing up, plus what we're talking about. Yeah, Gulak newsstand, yes. But one thing, the way the community has influenced me. I'll get into supplies afterward, but I'm just going to show this book right here. I got Amazing Spider-Man 252. This is my latest auction win. I got this one off Erod from the New York Warriors. But my main
that's pretty sharp.
Yeah, I got this in that nice E. Gerber too, fullback, all that good stuff. So, like I said, we'll talk about supplies in a second. But the auctions, I think, have really influenced, the way I collect comics. Just because, like I said, sometimes people want this, people want that. I just like comic books. So, unfortunately, I'm kind of one of those guys. At the end of the day, I like everything. I love a great story. I love some excellent Lone Ranger John Cassaday covers. And,
Kimosabe, we love you, Woodard. We are the three Tontos. We're the three Tontos. We love Woodard.
Oh my God! Did Legend finally turn his camera on for about 3.2 seconds?
Yes,
he did.
Yes, he did.
But
Gone too soon.
Gone too soon. I'm surprised nobody went. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
He did. He's a Native American, Tonto.
All right. So anyway.
Wow.
Yeah, Chad with those jokes again.
Ever since I joined the community about a year. Actually, it's been about a year for me too now. I've been using the community to try to get some of these classics I just have never been able to get previously. So just a big thanks to the community for, offering up those type of books you guys were talking about earlier. When you get those doubles and then you kind of just, number one, you flip them so you get that money, but you give them to someone, like me who always wanted a book like this. So.
And you may be wondering how you get those skills here in the comic book community, and that, fans, are the auctions. The community auctions are bar none the best ways to get comics, and you can get those at the Great Legend Show, the Legends Live auction. It's the first Saturday night of every month, and it is going to be tomorrow night. 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you step in line and enjoy the rhymes as you listen to the beats. And while you bid, you're gonna wish you won that auction. You wish you did. And then you can check out some of the other auctions as well, like All About Comics auction. And what is that, Carson Woodard? What is the schedule for AAC's auctions?
It's 9 p.m. Eastern every first and third Wednesday of every month.
That's it, man. The C19, CW19, he won't lie. He's so fine. I'm going to tell you about the
it blows your mind.
New York Warriors live auction. Every
Tuesday.
Okay, Tuesday nights.
Yeah, they are.
Man. I got to get that down, man. I got to get that down. But, look around for different auctions around the YouTube town. That's the way to do it. And now it's back to the CW19 hashtag Dare to Defy.
Yeah, he does.
So, this book overall is an example of how.
Hey, Woodard, the legends make it look easy, baby. The legends make it look easy. Back to you, 19.
I would like to point out that's another thing how my collecting has changed. I use blue painter's tape.
Yep, I was just getting ready to say. Now I use the dang painter's tape. I use the Mylights too from E. Gerber. I have the fullbacks, the halfbacks, all that stuff because I watched videos like the one that Great Legend did where he described all this stuff. Well, I don't think he talked about the painter's tape, but the whole Mylights thing, I used to see those in a store. I'm like, why would I pay that much for that? And then I watched the video where all this is explained. So that's the main thing that's impacted me as a collector since I joined the community. And then Bueller, he's got some nice bags there. And Chad, what's up, Chad?
Look at the Max
light. Look at that.
Yeah, the Max light. So bright. Shiny.
10% off Bueller code BUELLER.
Chad, how do you spell that?
Chad
BUELLER.
You got it. Perfect.
And he can now save 10% on his purchase of supplies. But my question to Chad is, since you joined the community, how have you been impacted? Because you haven't gone yet. I'm curious to see if you still put your books, no bag, no board, right in your plastic totes. No. Or has all that changed, or are we still in the totes?
I was talking to somebody about this last night. No, so since I joined the community, I am now sorting my books.
Are they alphabetized?
They are
by issue.
They're alphabetized and by issue.
There you go.
And I just realized that I have like the entire New 52 run of every title, even including Static Shock and Rob Layfield's Hawkman.
Wow. Okay, that just hurts me.
Easy
Rob
there.
Layfield and Hawkman.
But the bad thing about it is I didn't read any of them.
Shame.
I know, it was just getting crazy.
I think that's part of why I'm downsizing. I've bought so many books the last couple of years, I cannot possibly read them all.
I asked this last week or 2 weeks ago. I want to bind. I want to get some of my books. I mean, like that run. I want to get them bond, whatever.
Like 3-hole punch.
Bound is the word.
No, like into like a hard. Like I've seen some really nice hardbacks.
I mean, that was done a lot in the golden age.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You can still buy those. You know, Paul knows what I'm talking about. Like on eBay, if you look at some golden age like Wiz Comics, you might find some bound versions where it's like 6, 7, 8 issues of that comic book in a row. And sometimes it's that good stitched bounding, ain't it? Or is it glue bounded? I don't know. Back in the 30s, they had that stitching, man. They made some good quality back then.
Yeah, they did.
Oh my gosh.
Chad
Zinger.
Tonto, gone too soon. Gone too soon. That's right, speculation fans. The Lone Ranger issue 2 by Dynamite. This is volume 3, the one that just came out. I got all 3 covers. The death of Tonto. Damn. Yeah, I bet y'all. Yeah,
spoiler.
Y'all go get that now. Go buy that book. But just let you know, once you buy the book, I'm just kidding. Tonto does not die. Sorry. I just want the my Legend fans, to know that buy what you like, but buy some Lone Rangers sometime. Westerns are awesome.
Yeah, we want them to come back. I would like to add one thing.
Oh, God.
Shut your pie hole. This is the best time.
I'll listen. One thing.
Shut up, Mark. or I will make Cat hit you.
Go on, my dear.
This is the best time in the world to be a collector. I mean, Legend will be able to attest to this because he's also been a long time silver and gold collector. Back in the 90s, we used to have to send like letters to people and to try and find books we're looking for.
It was rough.
You have so many options now. You have YouTube auctions, you have Facebook auctions, you have Instagram, you have everything is out there. So now is the time to be a collector, particularly if you're looking for the older stuff. I mean, for the newer stuff. But, okay, Kat. Sure.
Did you tie notes to Dove's legs and let him go and say, "Hey,
hey, Paul"?
Essentially, yes.
No,
Midwest, we had to mail.
I raised my hand and I waited.
All right.
It is my turn.
Go ahead.
Okay. Seriously, Paul, who did you write these letters to? who was just like sending comics to you? How did you know you were finding comics?
Comic shop, you had to send your money
When was
order
this?
and
The
write
Dark
them the letter.
Ages?
Yes, it was. I'm sorry
the
that
phones are
you're
still
about,
attached to the walls.
I'm sorry you're about 12 years old,
Okay,
Kat.
Oh my God, it's so amazing because Kat wasn't born back then.
Oh, dang millennial.
He would get
when was
the
this?
phone
80s?
book and start with the A's.
Legend.
Did you just go in the
Bueller
did you
knows.
go to the library and did you look up comics?
No,
Well,
I
no,
mean,
If
Kat-
anything was
comic book
listed?
KATREN,
that's
listen,
one thing
KATREN.
that doesn't exist anymore is the fanzine. I mean,
Yeah.
things like
Yeah.
Comic Book Marketplace and Alter Ego, and people would just put an ad in there and they would say, contact me. And I'm sure Legend is quite familiar with the concept of a self-addressed stamped envelope.
Oh God, all the time. And then when I submitted my thing, Mile High Comics, I read it, their ad, and it had a checklist of some of the back issues I was missing for Fantastic Four, and I was like, oh my God, I don't have those. So, I called them on the phone, and then they sent me a. I did the order by phone then, but they sent me a paper catalog, and whenever I had to send the money in, I had to put a little write a note and write the issue number that I wanted, and then put it, and did it all like that with a money order, and then you'd get the comic.
Everything was money orders and self-addressed stamped envelopes, and millennial Cat sitting there over there going, "You guys are so quaint."
But really, Cat, no, Cat, seriously, back then,
That's like a curse word.
Back then, though, it was so awesome. It was cool to do because you knew you were going to get your comic book. They're going to send you some catalogs to try to entice you to buy more stuff. And the catalogs were on newspaper print. They looked kind of like the old TV guides you got from your local newspaper on, Friday.
I mean, back in the day, you would send a want list to people and say, "Hey, can you check your stock to see if you have any?" I mean,
Kat,
literally, this is the best time to be. The other thing I would like to point out is back in those days, I could buy an Amazing Fantasy 15 for $200. So
that's right.
Hey, Kat, I just want to answer your question before you ask it.
Yeah.
They had these things, and they picked them off the wall, and there would be a person on the other end of it, and it'd be like, "Hello, mister, I need to get..."
That was not my question. No. My question was, how many times did you guys actually get ripped off?
Yeah. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
I never
You
once
never
got
ripped off.
Look at that good stuff right there.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
nice.
what's
cool, Bueller.
funny is most of the dealers that I dealt with back in those days still exist today.
And they're
Okay.
dead. Yeah, they have great.
No, I mean,
This is what I had when I was a kid.
oh, Mile High Comics advertised in every issue of everything. But like I used to deal with places like Showcase New England, and these are some of the top golden and silver age
What was it like
dealers.
to have running water?
Yeah.
I can only talk about once I turned 30, because before that we didn't have it.
I figured.
This is some great stuff, though. This is some great stuff. Paul, man,
Splash
you're
Page
on
is saying the
fire
same
tonight,
thing.
baby.
He says, I didn't get ripped off, not once.
Yeah.
It was a
That's
different. I mean, back then it was.
Yeah.
It was different.
Better
I mean,
people.
It was a better time.
Better
It
people.
was.
Yeah.
It's not so
Yeah.
much better people. It was just I mean, we
I
talk
wanna
about how small the YouTube community is, but as far as the comic community, it was much smaller back.
And
back
the
then.
digital age, the computer age, the internet, and all that stuff. All that has done really is fueled like jealousy, hate, all the other 7 sins or whatnot. But before the internet, and before everyone had the AOL disc, man, it was just chill back in the
Oh,
day,
man.
man. Bueller, you know how it was before the internet. I mean, you were so old school. Your parents did live
You just
on
called him
tape.
old.
That's what he did.
Live on
You
tape.
just called him
Bueller.
old.
Like,
No,
you're
I'm saying-
old.
Yeah.
I'm saying he knows how the
Yeah.
I know
old school
exactly.
was. He knows how his parents,
Yeah.
they were putting freaking live tape to do TV shows. Like Dark Shadows was on live tape. I mean, this is stuff that's like
way back
no-
when people were
no
throwing
internet, like,
spinner racks in
the
their basements
70s, the 60s.
underneath their houses.
Oh, the stories, man. Bueller, what do you think, man? Tell us about your time, the old days, man. When
I'm
looking 15.
I'm looking at this. I used to always look at this. Okay, I looked at this every comic I got, which was the Mile High Comics ad, and it was the little yellow pages. And I'm looking at it right now, and it's like, Fantastic Four number 50, $8.
Johnny Goes to College for $8. People, you could have had it back then.
Captain America 100, $11.
There you go, Paul. You should have had it.
X-Men 94, $20. Spider-Man 101, $5. I remember just going through these and just ordering books out of here. Just awesome. And I love doing that, And actually, it's really cool is I'm planning on finally going to Mile High Comics next month for the first time. So it's on my...
Film it.
Yes.
Get it.
So
I would watch that the entire time.
Hey, Katie, you just send me in my box. I'll be there.
He lives in a box.
Dude, hang out with Bueller.
I used to read a fanzine called Comic Book Marketplace. Hey, shut up. I'm trying to speak here.
Okay, you have the floor.
I used to read this fanzine. It was kind of a fanzine called Comic Book Marketplace. It was around the same time as Wizard that Seawood is reading right now, but it was specifically aimed at Golden and Silver Age collectors. So they used to have ads from people who specialize in Gold and Silver Age books. And I go through some of these old ones now, and I had literally circled stuff that I wanted to buy. And I look at them now, and I look at myself, and I go, you, sir, are a fucking moron. Because I did not buy those books where, back in the 90s, this stuff was going for $50, $100 a pop. These things are going for $40,000, $50,000 now.
Another place I recommend for future, like not how we did it in the old days with the catalogs and stuff like that, but it's Heritage Auctions is really cool. You can search for a book there, and it doesn't have to be up for auction. You can go and it'll show you if a seller wants to sell their copy of like a big time key or something like that. So Heritage Auctions is another great place to get some pretty, and they're a little more expensive. You got some buyer's premium and stuff like that, but it's where the big boys play. If you want the golden age, you got to go where the big boys play.
Another good one is Comic Link.
I'm back. I had to go through
Comic Link too. Comic Link's really good, and I also do Comic Connect a little bit. But I've only I search for I've never done any transactions, but I use them just as well. Yeah. All my Phantom Strangers. My Golden Age Phantom Stranger, Paul, came from all of those were Comic Link pretty much.
Yeah. I would like to say if you collect Golden and Silver Age, learn your sources. I've got a list of high-end dealers that, like, some of them you can't even go to their store. They're appointment only. That's the kind of stuff they deal with.
And you're interested in Golden Age? Any of you in the chat right now, are you interested in Golden Age? Or if you just need some help and you want to know some legit stuff about Golden Age, don't even worry about it. We have this guy on Comic-Core every Friday night, and he's on Blast It or Stash It every Sunday night, and he's been cranking out some kick-ass videos on his channel, and it's Midwest Comic Man. So you damn well be recognizing the man known as Midwest Comic Man.
Who? What? Who?
You silly.
Oh, shit.
They're talking.
Did anybody hear an owl?
They were talking about you, but I'm back because I had to throw water on my head because Paul was talking too long, and I started falling asleep.
Man, for the Golden Age fans in the chat, they're gonna
they love each other.
I would like to point out that everybody should watch some of our live streams when we go to C2E2 because Chad's gonna die.
Let me tell you, Chad. We're gonna get Chad. This show has been every Golden Age fans wet snow cone.
Wet dream.
Anyway, yeah, that's right, Bueller. Bueller, you still have a lot of
dark,
those.
Everyone. Every episode here only on Comic Core.
Hey, give a shout out to the chat room.
Like and subscribe.
All right, Chad. Chad, what's going on in the chat?
It's happening. But Splash Page Comics, I want to give a big shout out to him because last night in a hangout, he shared with us what he reads his comic books on. And it's a really, really cool stand that he built, and he covers it with a comic.
Cool stand? Come on, Woodard. Go, Woodard.
Cool stand?
New stand?
He said that he's going to be taking something to C2E2, but if you guys can check this out, I think they're like roughly around $100, $120, and really will preserve the book itself. So definitely, if you're avid into keeping those books fresh, clean, and sick,
there you go.
I don't have super chat. I just wanted to give it.
Sick.
Yeah, check out Splash Page. He's got a really, really cool invention that he made. So cool.
There you go.
DIY.
Nobody comes to the page turning wand. He made those too.
Yeah,
and the white gloves.
I don't know what that is.
The rubber.
What is that?
One of the best. Who else do we have in the chat tonight? We got John's Comics for Kids. He says, "Rapid fire and play it safe." We still got Pocan Joe in the chat. We're looking forward to seeing him at C2E2. Robert Galvin. Still got Pocan Joe, Comics Books Explained, Comic Book Gallery, Mark BKR, Joe Ryan Comics. Just scrolling up. I don't think we've shouted out Steven Spock. How's it going, Steven Spock? Nice to see you in the chat. See who else we got going on.
Where's Steven Spock? I don't think.
I was
hey, long live and prosper. Long live and prosper, Stephen.
Mandela moment.
Live long and prosper.
I think. We got Comic Girl Ava in the chat.
Long live and prosper.
I'm going to go back down now. Fire Davis.
Now that you're talking about, I am the #1 subscriber to Steven Spock.
Prosper, live long, you will.
No.
What?
Oh, Fire Davis would like to point out he's still here.
Hi guys.
I said, hey, Fire Davis. Awesome.
He's there.
Fire Davis in the house. Y'all make sure you subscribe to Fire Davis, man. He's one
of
the
coolest
guys.
Idea,
he likes fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Fire it up.
Yeah.
Fire it up.
I know him and they burn a lot of things down.
You know the actor that was in The Crow who said fire it up. He's the same actor in The Warriors that said, Warriors come out to play.
Fire Davis only has 18 subscribers, and he has content, so people need to sub him up.
Dude, why were you like throwing shit
now?
At him? You're like, he's only got 18 subs. This dude's
Get
on fire.
Get that guy.
Sub him up.
Yeah.
I found this in the Wizard, so I'll throw him a sub too. I don't know why this was in there. It literally was. It fell in my lap. So shout out to Jeremy Edwards, wherever you're at, buddy.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh my, you're a lizard.
All right, so with that,
wait, hold on.
Go ahead, Chad.
Where's he at in the chat?
Who? Spock?
No, there he is. I wanted to sub Fire Davis up.
Oh, Fire Davis.
Yeah, well, now he's got 21.
Gene Roddenberry, baby.
That's what he said.
We just subbed him.
Oh, cool.
And
all right, are we ready to wrap this thing up?
Pay attention.
All right, so we'll go ahead, go down the line. Last plug. So we'll start with KATREN Figures. What you guys got to plug this week?
Hi. Got some reviews coming out. Hopefully the weather's supposed to warm up, so yay. We're also stuck in the Midwest dealing with all of the DC ice villains attacking. I refuse to acknowledge that it is a polar vortex. I totally think that Killer Frost teamed up with Icicle and Icicle Jr., you know. And
hey, at least you get to stay in the house.
Yeah, that's true. I do get to stay in the house.
Newsstand.
I haven't left my house for a freaking week.
I have been in the box all week.
I haven't even made it to the shop. That's how serious it is.
My boss literally sent us an email Monday, said, y'all need to just work from home this week.
I didn't even make it to the comic shop yet this week. That's how serious it is. But we've got another review coming out with DC fans, so yay! Hopefully we've got a video coming out together if I can actually convince Mark to be on camera on the channel.
What are we doing? Hey, what are you guys whispering about? I like this.
I heard Chef Boyardee videos.
Chef Boyardee, where? I'm hungry again.
Order pizza. How about that?
Yes, I get pizza.
Yeah. Okay, so what about you, Sam?
Wait,
what do you got going on?
Live streams gaming wise?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So
when I get bored, I've been streaming this horror game, and unfortunately, my animals keep jumping on me and getting all my characters killed.
KATREN, you know.
Is that a platform exclusive game?
I want to challenge KATREN.
Okay. What are you challenging me to?
Right here, right now, we go live this week on your channel. While I lay the smacketh down on you on some Injustice.
You probably would. I haven't played that game in a minute.
I'll play blindfolded.
Oh, you'll play blindfolded. You'll be on camera blindfolded.
You're gonna do the Bird Box challenge. How dare you?
Are we both gonna be blindfolded for this challenge?
I will blindfold you, Caitlin, yes, but I will watch.
I'm gonna stab you.
No,
Chad, just remember, Chad.
Okay, Chad. Are we gonna call characters now?
Yeah.
All right, who are you gonna be?
KATREN.
So we pick 3 characters.
All right.
50 Shades of the Gimp.
So my first.
This is serious now. All right. It's a challenge. What are we doing?
First pick, Aquaman.
All right. First pick, Harley.
Second pick, the Turtles.
Okay, Starfire.
God, Cat, pick Hellboy. Hellboy. Come on.
All right, third pick.
Okay, Flash.
If KATREN doesn't pick Red Hood, something's wrong with the world.
Hellboy. Hellboy's so awesome. I beat many Canadians with Hellboy. I've sent them to hell.
It's happening.
All right. I'll make this even more interesting. I'll let the panel choose my last pick.
Hellboy.
Apparently, Hellboy.
Do you have Hellboy? Is everyone's consensus Hellboy?
Magnolia.
Peer pressure, Hellboy.
All I'm hearing is Hellboy.
He's so awesome.
Green Arrow,
okay, my third pick.
Captain America.
Remember downtown. Make sure
my third one's gonna be Hellboy. Okay.
It's on. You
the Comic Corps. All right. We're gonna get together in the messages, and we're gonna figure it out.
You call it. I'll be there.
We're both gonna be blindfolded.
Bird Box challenge.
And Chad, whenever you get beat, remember the great legend always says, "We can't all be winners."
We are both gonna be blindfolded for this.
I think Carson has that game too.
I need to get it back to my brother, but hey, just remember what happens when you call down on the thunder. You get the lightning.
Ooh, wow.
I'm coming.
In the chat, Fire Davis. I do play a lot of Blue Beetle in the game.
I think at this point, Chad has "We Can't All Be Winners" tattooed on his chest so he can look at it in the mirror every morning.
I think he does. Yeah, he does.
All right. I think it's Paul's turn. Paul, what you got going on this week?
Well, I think we are
nothing as usual.
Yeah, shut your
He dropped an awesome video already. Yeah. Tell him about that.
I dropped 4 videos this week.
Oh, wow.
And I may be dropping something new tomorrow.
A deuce.
Legend, you only
drop Chad.
Up to the other 2.
No, there's a new type of video I will be doing tomorrow. Huey will have to confirm this, but I think we may be skipping Blaster Sash it this week because I think the chances of us getting any viewers on Super Bowl Sunday are about 0.
Sorry, but probably.
But yes, I have something new coming tomorrow, and I will continue. I know Donnie was saying he liked my Golden Age artist spotlights, which I've now changed to just great artist spotlight because I'm going to be doing ones other than just Golden Age. But I'm starting to do content. Go figure.
That is so good, Paul, man. Congratulations.
Oh, that is awesome. In the Comic Core chat, Huey posted a picture.
Dude, that was like an hour ago. Where you been?
You were talking, so I took a nap.
Oh. They don't
Travis,
like each other.
Travis,
That'd be nice.
Travis,
Be
cover
nice.
your ears. Cover
No,
your ears, Travis.
I want to hear you say "fuck you, man."
No.
Damn.
No, when we get to Chicago, I'm kicking you in the dick.
Oh, ouch.
He'll probably be happy.
It's okay. It's okay because we're gonna be
come at you with a
live when that happens.
You want them with a gun. They put one of yours in the hospital. You put one of theirs in the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
That got dark
real quick.
All right.
Wow.
Speaking of all that, we're going to go to the Great Legend next because I know he's got a lot going on.
The movie was called The Untouchables, starring my second cousin's BFF, Kevin Costner, and Robert De Niro. Sean Connery won Best Supporting Actor. I know, Untouchables the movie. Go rent it on DVD or kind of watch it illegally. Whatever floats your boat, you got it here in the digital
We'll have to visit
world.
that train station.
But let me tell you, the legend is coming in hot. The legend is coming in hot. I'm going to be dropping the Legends Live auction tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So come down and get your bids in. We're going to be flanked by Amazing Murfinator, Big Bear Comics. Our two special guests are Archangel and Finland's very own Gene Paul Ace Peter. So if you're from Canada, make sure you hit up this auction, because GPAP's going to have some great deals for the folks north of America. The wall ain't built up there yet.
Is he selling any club seals?
He might sell some gold. He might sell some
That's
walrus.
how he bags this shit.
Hey, man, polar bear rugs. He's got it all and more. And you know what else we have in store?
I'll take a polar bear rug.
Whodhat Comics and Movies, unfortunately, will not be able to make tomorrow's Legends Live auction, but make sure you stay tuned so you can see him on the All About Comics auction coming at you very soon. But keep that in mind. We have one other spot available, and there's one guy, and he's on the panel, and he has that spot if he is available tomorrow night. What do you say, Chad from the Comic Core? Will you be on Legends Live Auction tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on youtube.com/rdaddy95?
I'm going to try.
Dude, Legend just turned into that homeless guy from wherever.
No, he isn't. He's a game show. I love it. He's a legend.
Scene from the
Hey, you know,
they're trying to get her to marry him.
Is type in the great, and it's right at the top.
That's right, man. That's right. If you're on Google, you can tap in The Great Legend Show. You know, if you want to be cool and phonetically pleasing to the artificial intelligence, or you can type in The Great Legend. I'm at the top, or if you just want to be lazy, just type in 2 words, Great Legend, boom, hit enter. There you go at the top. So that's where The Great Legend Show is always going to be.
Where he's coming at you live.
That's right. And all these people right now on this panel, the Comic Core, they're all on my featured channel page at youtube.com/rdaddy95. That's right, KATREN. We always coming at you live, and we coming at you live from the Comic Core. And I just want to say, I haven't been able to check the chat or whatnot, and I probably won't check it on the rewind because, I'm not into that fame shit. But let me tell you, I just really appreciate
my full of shit meter just went bing.
I just really appreciate No, I know people are loving it up right now. I can't see the chat, but I know people love the legend, and I love them back. And that's the folks I really appreciate, and I want you to know I love you. And thank you so much for taking your time out of your Friday night. I don't know, if your family life, I hope it's doing good and God bless you and everything. But, family first, don't ever think this show is more important than your family. But we do want you to know from the bottom of our hearts, we love spending time with you, and we really appreciate, you being there for us. So thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Something, man.
Thank you.
Thumbs us down.
What?
They need to show up in Chicago. We'll just beat their ass.
That's okay.
What the heck? Wow.
Any last words, Sam? Any last thoughts?
Oh, I know I've been like sitting and being real quiet and stuff, but I enjoy filling in a spot, and thank you very much for having me.
Sam's one of the best guys in the community, man.
And anytime you want me back on, you know where to go.
I just dial that number.
You dial that number. I'm right there.
HOTT, and he comes a flying.
That's right.
8675309.
Yeah.
I know. We all had a great
time. Jenny's number?
No.
A little bit different
Sam's
than
number.
That, but yeah.
Jenny changed phones. Gosh.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Get with it.
Yeah.
It hasn't been Jenny's phone in a long time.
I lost my carrier pigeon, Caitlin. Jeez.
Oh,
Paul probably has it, so don't worry.
Self-addressed stamped envelope.
Good time.
I know, Sam, we also had a great time on Legend Show doing the Royal Rumble review. We're glad to have you on that panel.
That was
too.
awesome. Yeah.
And who else was on that panel was Comics with Bueller. Bueller, what do you got going on? You got a promo code now you can plug in all that stuff. So what else going on Comics with Bueller this week?
Well, for one, I want to say it's nice having you back, Seawood. We definitely tell when you're not steering the ship, my friend. It's definitely evident when you're not here. All my, I kind of look at January was kind of a chaotic month for me and everything, and I kind of look at it as a wash. Now, everything on my end of my house is all back on track. I shouldn't have any problems going forward. And all my regular content that I normally do is going to be back. The coffee videos, the top 10s, the new releases, the live streams, just the keys. All those are going to be back. No excuses. I'm really looking forward to getting back on track. So that's February 1st. This is this is the starting of the new year for me. So all my regular stuff is back. I'm going to be starting a new show with me and Comic Tom are going to be doing a live stream on Monday nights at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, starting a week from this coming Monday. And that will be a weekly show, myself and Comic Tom 101 on his channel. I'm looking forward to doing that. We'll have a lot of fun together. Then next week on Thursday night, I'm going to be on John's Comics with Kids. We're going to be doing a review of pretty much the season 1 of Lost. And we're going to break it down in a bunch of different areas and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that because I'm a big fan of Lost. And like you said earlier, I received a new sponsor this week, and it's called Max Pro Supplies. They do comic book supplies, baseball or sports card supplies, you name it, all the collector type supplies they do. And I am now a coupon code. If you go to their website, maxprosupplies.com, you just type in the word Bueller when you check out, and you save 10% on everything that you buy at maxprosupplies.com. So very cool, and just glad to be back here on Friday nights, and glad to have you back here as well, and glad to have my buddy Sam as well on here. And one thing I want to get your guys' opinion on this, and I told Sam to do this. I think he should do a contest. I think he'd receive a lot of support videos from the community because he's been around so long, and everyone really enjoys Sam and stuff. And I'd like Sam to put together a contest and put some videos out there because I know I'd really enjoy making a support video for Sam, and I think pretty much everyone here would probably do the same thing. So Sam, when you get the time, to make a video. Well, you need to do like a contest video. I think that would be really cool, buddy.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's looking like it's going to be in the cards. Yeah.
Make a video.
And I'll donate a bunch of stuff for the prize as well for you, Sam. So whatever you need, I'll donate some stuff as well. I'd love to donate some stuff to your prize and whatever you're giving out as well. So.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So before I get into, and I would make a contest video. I love me some contests. But before I go into myself and then wrap it up with chat, I do want to get back into the chat 1 second because we had about 3 new people join us. We got Comic Spectre. He's back in the chat again. So nice to have you back, Comic Spectre. We got the amazing Murfinator in the chat. It's always good to have him. I guess at least one person out there is looking forward to the Super Bowl. So I guess congratulations for your team, Murph. Like the only person who, once again, is happy that Brady's back. So
no. I think
Area 51. Area 51. What's going on?
I think he's happy that Brady's in there, and I think 99% of the rest of us are saying anybody but the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I saw a map the other day. It said people rooting for Brady, and it showed Massachusetts. And it said people rooting for the LA Rams, and it was the rest of the country.
But anyway, on my channel, I have the Tuesday night live stream every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That'll be fun. I always have a great time. It always boggles my mind how many people turn out to it. So big thanks to everybody who turns out to the Tuesday night live stream, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And I think I'm actually going to try to put out the Signature Sunday video this Sunday because I don't have to work all night. So might try to get one of those out finally just because I want to know how many signatures I have in my collection. Someone asked me. I have no clue. It's a nice number is all I know. So I think I'm going to start that series just to kind of chronicle how many signatures I have in my collection inside this box behind me. And then it all goes great. Yeah, newsstand, exactly. And then on
NEWSTAND newsstand. NEWSTAND
on Wednesday night. 9 p.m. Eastern, where All About Comics will be having his live auction. So I haven't picked out anything yet to sell on there, but he's always got a great auction, just like the Great Legend does, which you'll have this Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So we're all looking forward to that. And Spectre, I think my package is due tomorrow. So once again, big thanks to Comic Spectre. He's sending me another AOK that's on its way. There's kind of a rhyme for you, Legend, but yeah, big shout out.
That message could be taken so many ways in the chat. See what you get my package.
NEWSTAND.
So I have a service. Right.
Please go, Chad.
Service.
Hey, Kat, when's the next DC fan video?
Well, it should be coming out soon. They have it. It's anywhere.
The answer is I have no freaking idea.
They have it, but they actually don't work on weekends. So it'll probably be out sometime early next week.
KATREN. KATREN.
What is happening here?
Where are the Mark BK and Andy?
They're open.
I know they're open.
I can't do that, Mark. I can't do that, Mark.
Oh. Okay.
Mark BK 90.
No, see, it sounds better with KATREN. Just keep going with that.
All right. No. These are some hidden Velveteen Dream Easter eggs for my buddy Comics with Bueller. Bueller, what did you think about those Velveteens I was planting?
I thought they were good.
They were like velveteen seeds of the dream. They were velveteen seeds of the dream.
Did you see that he won?
Making you say that.
He won the title from Gargano.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
Whoa.
Sorry.
Well,
yeah. They kind of messed it up. But I love that. WWF has done that before way back in the day. I can't remember the two contenders, but it was one of those type deals.
Yep.
You'll have to figure it out.
I already put the title on my Velveteen Dream character in my video game.
Newsstand. So there you go. Back to you, Chad.
All right. So, a public service announcement. I am going to put the link to the Google Hangouts in the chat. Here's a little, everybody keeps on having issues getting into the Hangout.
Yeah, they do.
And this works. This works.
In it, Sam. Leave it alone.
Copy the link, text it to yourself. Then when you receive it, click it through text message and you'll be able to get in. Did it work for you, Sam?
I think so. Yeah.
You're here, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah.
It worked.
I just realized you were here, Sam. Way to go, Chad.
Oh man. Can't see me.
If you're on an iOS device, like if you're on an Apple device, click and hold down the link. Click and hold down the link, and then open it up in Safari. Click that, and then it'll open it up in your Hangouts.
I'm gonna hold down something. Yeah.
Sam's going to Monday Night Raw on Monday.
I sure am.
Burn it down.
Everybody hate it or love it. The underdog's on top, and I'm going to shine, homie, until my heart stops. Go ahead and envy me. I'm the
I'll be taking pictures, buddy.
Good night, and the crow or whatever's in that route. I gotta go.
Come on.
Stinger!
Can't rain all the time.
Bye.